Please subscribe my channel. Our 7th wedding anniversary was meant to be special. 7 years of everyday habits, small acts of kindness, private jokes, and the cozy feeling of really knowing someone well. I had booked a private room at a cozy upscale restaurant in Seattle, invited our close family and friends, and even practiced a simple toast in my mind. Nothing fancy, just a couple of words about being thankful and staying committed. But as soon as we sat down, things seemed off. My wife, Emily, smiled in a polite way, but her eyes kept glancing at her phone. Each of us drew her focus away from the table, away from me. I tried to brush it off. Maybe job pressure or a worried friend. Anything but what my gut was quietly telling me. Even so, as drinks were poured and chats filled the room with warmth, she remained far away, typing, erasing, grinning at her screen, which obviously meant more to her than I did on this night to honor our marriage. At first, I acted like it was no big deal. I chuckled at the jokes, poured more drinks, and ensured everyone was at ease. But time passed, and her behavior stayed the same. She missed the cake being brought out. She didn't catch her sister, Sarah, joking about how young we looked when we got married. She hardly ate anything. Every few moments, her fingers tapped fast, tilting the phone so I couldn't see. Once, I softly asked if she was all right. She glanced up, surprised, and replied, "Yeah, just dealing with something important," before going back to her phone. Important enough to ruin our anniversary, it seemed. That's when a clear thought hit me. Not rage, not fear, just understanding. I wasn't up against a job or a pal. I was up against another guy. And from how her expression softened reading those texts, I could tell who was ahead. Many think cheating is dramatic. Fights, crying, doors slamming. What I experienced was an odd peace, the type that comes when you stop denying things. I observed her carefully, not mad, but attentive. The secret smiles, the hesitations before answering, the thoughtful word choices, the quick looks around like she worried someone would spot her emotional distance. I didn't peek at her phone. I didn't ask for explanations. I didn't ruin the party. Instead, I chose something that even shocked me. If our marriage was over, it wouldn't end in mess. It would end with honesty. I thought back to all the times I'd stood up for her, trusted her, felt we were partners, and realized that whatever she was starting with that other person had already broken what was precious between us. All that was left was to say it openly. When the dessert dishes were taken away and the room got quieter, someone proposed a toast. That was my chance. I stood up slowly, raised my glass, sensing all eyes on me. Emily finally looked up, puzzled, phone still in her grip. I smiled calmly and kindly and thanked everybody for joining us. I mentioned 7 years together, how anniversaries help us remember why we picked each other. Then my voice changed a bit. I explained how hard it is to sit next to someone whose feelings are elsewhere. I pointed out that while everyone was toasting love, my wife had been messaging another man all evening. A guy who plainly meant more than our promises. I didn't blame harshly. I didn't insult. I just shared the truth plainly, respectfully, and with poise. The room went still. No shock sounds, no yelling, just thick quiet weighing on us all. Emily's face lost its color. She started to speak, then stopped, knowing lies wouldn't hold up against her obvious actions. I lifted my glass again and said, "So, to my toast, to truth, even if it's late." Then I sipped. Nobody applauded. Nobody stirred. Some stared at their plates. Others glanced at her, awaiting a response that didn't come. She eventually got up, muttering about a mix-up, but the harm was done. The facts were out calmly, without meanness, making them hard to dismiss. I sat down, feeling strangely better, aware that no matter what followed, I'd kept my dignity. We didn't fight that night. We barely spoke. She left soon, ashamed and caught, while I lingered to thank the guests and say sorry for the awkward close. Many whispered that I'd managed it gracefully. I didn't feel heroic. I just felt done. Driving home by myself, I thought over the night, not with sadness, but with acceptance. I saw that standing up doesn't always mean yelling. Sometimes quiet truth is stronger. By not begging, pleading, or losing control, I'd handle my own closure. She hadn't seen that coming. She counted on secrets, mix-ups, perhaps pardon. Instead, she faced clear facts, and facts hide nothing. The following days were tough, but real. We talked at last without alibis or faking. She confessed the affair began as feelings, then grew into something she couldn't quit. I heard her out not to fix things, but to grasp where it really broke. Trust, when lost, doesn't break with noise. It fades softly like it did that evening. I left home in a week. Divorce papers came next. Friends picked sides, relatives wondered, and life changed around a fact I couldn't dodge anymore. Oddly, I felt freer. The ongoing doubt vanished. I stopped second-guessing myself, or my value. I'd chosen calm over pretending, respect over chaos. In hindsight, that anniversary marked not my life's end, but the start of my truthfulness. I discovered love without honor is mere routine, and faithfulness without being truly there is empty. I don't despise my former wife, Emily, but I don't idealize our past anymore. That gentle toast showed me a key lesson. You don't have to tear someone down to guard yourself. You simply quit acting. Ending our marriage quietly wasn't giving up. It was power. Because often the strongest message is leaving with your pride intact, letting the truth linger like a sound that won't fade.